Hi students, welcome to online class. So in this video we are going to discuss about the chapter 11 database concepts. See, in this video we are going to see the topic data model. We are going to discuss about the data model. So it's an important 5-mark question. What is a data model and what are the types of data model? Right. So what is mean by data model? See, a data model describes how the data can be represented and accessed from a software after complete implementation. See, it is going to represent and then it is going to access how the data is in the software, how it is going to be represented and how it is going to be accessed from the software after the implementation. So that is what the data model says. That is what the data model describes. So again I repeat, the data model describes how the data can be represented and accessed from a software. So it is going to represent and then it is going to be accessed from a software. So it is going to describe how the data will be represented. It is going to describe how the data will be accessed from the software, right? And then it is a simple abstraction of complex real world data gathering environment. So it is going to give an abstract. What is the real things? What are all the real world entities? Real world, real environment. How the data will be. So that is going to be represented in an abstract manner, right? And the main purpose of the data model is to give an idea as how the final system or software will look like after the development is completed. The main purpose of the data model is to give an idea as how the final system or software will look like. So it is going to give an idea. Whenever the software is developed, whenever the software is completed, it is going to show you the final thing, how it will be, right? So for that purpose we are going to use the data model, right? The main purpose of the data model is to give an idea as how the final system or the final software will look like, right, after the development is completed. So we are going to see the final thing, how the software will be developed. So that is going to be given, that is going to be seen by the data model, right, by using the data model. There are 5 types of data models are there. Hierarchical data model, relational data model, network database model, and then network data model, and then entity relationship, and then object oriented data model, right? Let us see one by one. First, hierarchical data model. What is mean by hierarchical data model? In the word hierarchy, there itself we can understand that it will be looking like a tree structure. It will be looking like a tree structure, that is called hierarchical data model, right? So hierarchical model was developed by IBM as information management system. Hierarchical model was developed by IBM as information management system. So this IBM only they developed this particular model. So in this hierarchical model, the data is represented as a simple tree-like structure form. It is represented as a simple tree-like structure form. This model represents one-to-many relationship. That is one parent, and then that one parent can have many child. One-to-many relationship, that is one parent can have many child. So that is what here it says, because see, the tree comes from the root. Actually the root is one, but the branches are many. Is it right or not? When we call it as a tree, whenever the root comes out, there were many branches was come out of that particular root, then branches gone for sub branches, like that it goes on in a wider manner as well as in a bigger manner, then that is called as a tree. So here in hierarchical model, the data will be represented in a tree like structure. Tree like structure means here that represents one to many relationship. So one to many means one parent can have many child, right? See here, one child can have only one parent. One child can have only one parent, but one parent can have many children. But one parent can have many children. So that is what they used to call it as hierarchical data model. That is what they used to call it as hierarchical data model. Right? Can you understand, students? Right. You can see this particular model is mainly used in the IBM mainframe computers. So the information, you know very well IBM, the IBM company, that is information management system. Information management system, they have developed this particular thing for their computers, that is IBM mainframe computers. You see the example here. Here you can take the school. The school is the parent, and then what are the child they have means first thing is course, and then next thing is resource. So first one is school. School is the parent, and then course and resource are the child. So one parent can have many child, so two childs. And then from the course becomes the parent. Then there is two things, one is theory and another one is lab. So the course has two child, one is theory and another one is lab. See, whenever you are studying each and every course, you take a computer course, the theory will be taken as well as the lab will be conducted for that course. So that is what here they are saying, trying to communicate. Right? Next we can go for the relational data model. So hierarchical model, you might have understood that it is looking like a tree structure, and then one to many relationship. One parent can have many children, but one parent can have many children, but only one child can have only one parent. Right. Now we are going for the relational database model. Relational database model or relational data model was first proposed by E.F. Codd. E.F. Codd in 1970. So this was proposed by the E.F. Codd, a scientist. In 1970 it was proposed. Then it was nowadays it is the most widespread data model used for the database applications around the world. So most of the places now they are using which type of data model they are using? A relational data model is used by all over the world. Why they are using this particular relational database model? Because the basic structure of data in relational data model is tables. So the data is represented in a tabular form, table form, that is consists of rows and columns. It consists of rows and columns. So that's why most of them they are trying to use this particular data model. It is represented in a tabular form, consists of rows and columns. See, tables can be otherwise called as relations. Tables can be otherwise called as relations. All the informations related to a particular type is stored in rows of the table. All the informations related to a particular type is stored in rows of the table. So all the information is stored in row manner, that is horizontal manner. Right? So already we studied all those things. What is mean by table, what is mean by row, what is mean by column. Like that we have studied in the previous videos. Right? You might remember that. So you try to recover those things. So row is otherwise called a tuple. Row is otherwise called as a record. Column is otherwise called as field or attribute. Right? Table can be otherwise called as file or relation. Like that we studied. So all the informations are always stored in the rows of the table. Hence the tables are also known as relations in relational data model. So table can be otherwise called as relation, right? Here you can see the data is represented in a tabular form. Here you see the first table contains student ID, name and age. First table contains the student ID, name and age. Whereas the second table you see here, subject ID, name and the teacher. Subject ID, name and the teacher. So both these tables are combined together. We can use and then we can combine another table. We can use both the table. We can use a relational key. They used to call it as relational key. A relational key is an attribute which uniquely identifies a particular tuple, that is row in the table. A relational key is an attribute. Attribute means column. So a relational key is an attribute which uniquely identifies a particular tuple, row in the table. For example, you see here, if you take the student ID, so each and every student have different ID. So first Malar ID is 1, then Sankar ID is 2, Velu ID is 3. Names are different, age are different, but two of them have same age. But what about the ID? For example, if there are two students named Velu studying in the same class, then there will be a confusion. Both of them name is Velu, both of the students age is also same, then there will be a confusion. How can we identify the student Velu individually? So we can identify the student Velu individually through the student ID. Like that you see here, subject ID. There are 3 subjects are given there, C++, PHP, Python. But each and every subject is identified by the subject ID 1, 2, 3. Right? So here the subject ID is the relational key. Here in this table, first table, student ID is the relational key. So this relational key helps which uniquely identifies, that is which is helping in the table, that is uniquely identifying each and every row, that is particular tuple in the table. Can you understand, students? See, using these two attributes they have combined and then they have created the marks for those subjects. For example, student ID 1. What is the subject he is studying? C++. He is studying C++. That is Malar is studying C++. She got 92 marks. Then student ID is 1. So again Malar is studying PHP. What is her mark in PHP? 89. Whereas Sankar is not at all studying any subject, right? The mark is not specified. But what about the next ID? 3. So 3 belongs to Velu. So Velu is studying PHP. And then what is his mark? 96. Can you understand, students? This is about relational data model. Right, let us take the another third model, network data model. What is mean by network data model? So here, network database model, it comes from the hierarchical data model. Network data model or network database model is extended from the hierarchical data model. There is some difference between hierarchical data model and network data model. See, hierarchy means it is represented in a tree-like structure, one-to-many relationship. But in network model, a child may have many parent nodes. That is many-to-many relationship. That is the difference between hierarchical data model and network data model. Hierarchical data model means only one parent and many children. That is one-to-many relationship. But in network model, here many-to-many relationship. That is many parent can have many child. Right? A child can have many parent. Like that they will say. See here, in hierarchical data model, a child record has only one parent node. A child has only one parent. Whereas in network data model, a child may have many parent nodes. It represents the data in the many-to-many relationship. It represents the data in the many-to-many relationship. This particular model is easier and faster to access the data. Because many to many relationship means one data will be related to many, as well as many data will be related to many. So there is no problem at all. The data can be accessed in a easier manner, right, as well as in a faster manner, right. See here, for example, in the picture you can see one parent school. So the school is the parent node, and what are the child? Library, office, staff room. So this child has only one parent, that is library, office, staff room has only one parent node called school. And then all these parent, all the library, office, staff room, this becomes parent. And then what is the child of this library, office and staff room means student is the child. So library, office and staff room becomes parent. Can you understand, students? I think you might have studied in the 11th standard this particular thing as multiple inheritance. Do you remember that? Multiple inheritance means multiple base classes, only one derived class. That is what they used to call multiple inheritance. So here it means the same. Network data model also represents the same. See here, school represents the parent node. School represents the parent node. Library, office and staff room is a child to school. Library, office and staff room is a child to school. Then see the next one. Student is a child to library, office and staff room. That is one to many relationship. One to many relationship. Whereas here it goes for many to one relationship. Right? Can you understand, students? Right. Let us see the next data model, entity relationship data model. What is entity relationship data model? They used to call it as ER model. We used to call it as ER model. In this database model, relationships are created by dividing the object into entity and its characteristics into attributes. In this data model, the relationship are created by dividing the object into entity. So each and every object should be divided into entities, as well as and its characteristics should be considered as attributes. So we want to consider the object as entity and the characteristics as attributes. So don't confuse with the relational model, because relational model also contains attributes. So there it represents column, but here there is no column, right? So object is considered as entity, characteristics is considered as attributes. It was developed by Chen in 1976. This particular model was developed in 1976, which was developed by Chen. This model is useful in developing a conceptual design for the database. This model is useful in developing a conceptual design for the database. So conceptual design means, so we are going to see how the database will be. We are going to see how the database will be. So it is the earliest phase of the software. So whenever the software is going to be designed, so the designing stage is called as conceptual design of the database. So whenever we are designing the software, we can use this particular data model, how the software will be, how the software will be looking, right? Will be looking like. So we can use this particular model for designing the software. Whenever the client is approaching the company for developing a software, the client will ask the developers to create the software like this. He will go with the blueprint, or else he will ask to create a software like this. For example, you take an engineer, whenever he is constructing the house, he is going for a blueprint with the house owner. Why? How the house will be, how the house will look like. Right? First of all, the house owner will say, these are the things which are essential for my house. After saying all the requirements, the engineer will create a design. Right? After creating the design, he will show to the house owner. Right? So that is what here also they are saying. This particular model is used in developing the conceptual design. Conceptual design means design process of the database. Before the development, design will be there. That designing stage we can use this particular data model. It is very simple and easy to design logic view of data. So we can design the logical view of the data using this particular model, so that we can understand easily, the developer can understand easily the system by seeing the ER model, that is entity relationship model. The picturization is given in a clear manner so that the developer can understand easily. Right? Now we can see rectangle. So in the ER model, there are some symbols are there. There are 3 symbols are there. What are the 3 symbols means? Rectangle, ellipse, and then diamond. Each and every shape represents a particular thing. In entity relationship model, each and every symbol, each and every shape represents a particular thing. There are 3 symbols, there are 3 shapes are there. First one is rectangle, ellipse, and then diamond. So rectangle represents the entities. Rectangle represents the entities. So for example, here they are taking doctor and patient. So here they are taking doctor and patient. So that represents the entities. Then ellipse represents the attributes. Ellipse represents the attributes. For that they are taking what are the attributes, that is what are the characteristics of the entity. So if doctor is an entity, what is his character? The doctor will have an ID. The doctor will have a name. Right? If doctor is an entity, what is his attribute? What is his characteristic means? Doctor will have an ID and then doctor will have a name. Like that, if patient is the entity means what are the characteristics of the patient? Patient ID is the characteristic and then patient name is the another characteristics. Right? Can you understand, students? So ellipse represents the entities. Ellipse represents the attributes. Rectangle represents the entities. Right? So attributes are the characteristics and each entity becomes a major part of the data stored in the database. So attributes, it always represents, it always describes the characteristics alone. Characteristics of the entity alone. And then entity play a major role because the data is stored only in the database. That is, data is stored as an entity in the database. Data is stored as an entity in the database. Right, let us see this example, then you can understand it easily. Then the third shape, we can go for the third shape, that is diamond. Diamond represents the relationship between both the entities. What is the relationship between the two entities? So that relationship will be specified in the diamond symbol. Right? So doctor diagnose the patient. So doctor and patient are the two entities. What is the relationship between the doctor and the patient? So doctor is used to check the patient, that is diagnose the patient. See here, the rectangle symbol represents the entity. So doctor is an entity and then patient is also an entity. What are the two characteristics of the doctor? Doctor ID, doctor name. What are the characteristics of patient? Patient ID, patient name. So characteristics are represented as ellipse, that is called attributes. Rectangle represents the entity. And then doctor and patient, both of them are related to one another. How they are related, how they have the relationship. So it is represented in a diamond shaped. Right? Doctor is diagnosing the patient. Right? I think we are going to see the last object model, that is object data model. last data model, that is object data model. What is object data model? So object data model stores the data in the form of objects, that is attributes and methods. It looks like a class and interface. It looks like a class and inheritance. The object model stores the data in the form of attributes, methods, objects, classes and inheritance. Classes and inheritance. This model handles more complex applications such as geographic information system (GIS), scientific experiments, engineering design and manufacturing. So these are used to handle the more complex problems, more complex applications. So that is what they are given: geographic information system (GIS), and then the major scientific experiments. What are all the major scientific experiments? All those experiments can be implemented through this data model. So engineering design and manufacturing, because instead of going in a practical manner, we can see all those things in a all those things through this particular data models. We can design and then we can see, right? We can say the each and every rocket, whatever they are launching in India, all those rocket launching, first of all they will not go in a practical manner. First of all they will design in the systematic manner, and then based on their design, whether it is working or not, they used to go through, and then only they used to go for a practical one, right? So then this particular model is used in file management system. It is used in the file management system, and then it represents real world objects, attributes and behaviors, provides a clear modular structure. So as we say, these are used to handle the more complex applications. So it is also used to represent the real world objects, and then its behavior, attributes, and then it is giving a clear thing in a it is giving a clear and crisp structure of that particular model. So we can easily maintain and then we can easily modify. So all these processes are very easy in this particular data model. Right, let's see this example, then you can understand here. You see here, so shape, circle, rectangle, triangle. So these are the objects. Shape, circle, rectangle and triangle, all these are considered as objects. All these are considered as objects. Here you see in circle there is one attribute called radius. There is one attribute called radius. So like that, here also you can see in rectangle, length and breadth. These are all called attributes of the rectangle. Whereas base and height are the attributes of triangle. See here, circle has the attribute radius, rectangle has the attribute length and breadth, triangle has the attributes base and height. So here these three objects, circle, rectangle and triangle, all these objects inherit the characteristics from the object called shape. Circle, rectangle, triangle, all these objects inherit the properties from the object called shape. For example, you can take a simple thing. A child inherits the characteristics of the parents, of the father, of mother. So whenever a newborn child, whenever a child is born, the child acquire the properties from their parents, right? Inherit the properties from the parents. So already we might have studied in 11th inheritance. So the same concept is given here. So circle, rectangle and then triangle, all these objects is inheriting the properties from the object called shape. Right. I think you might have understood this video. So this is a very important 5-mark question. So let's end the class. So thank you students.